Hello, you all beautiful soul. I have a questions for you. Have you ever feel like whatever you do in life, there's something that doesn't seem to be good enough for you? You wish that your husband can be a better husband. You wish that your kids can be a better kids. You wish that you feel more enough. You feel more talent, more capable. You feel more satisfied the way you communicate, the way you deal with people. So overall, you seems to not happy with yourself. Whatever you do, you doesn't seem to see that you are good enough and that your life seems to be struggle than others. Why is other people's life seems to get better than you? And why is it only you have to go through all this suffering and stuff like that? Well, what if I tell you that I might have a solutions for you? Because I can totally relate it to this. This is something that I used to feel in the past. It's how I used to never satisfy with myself. I was being too harsh on myself. I wish my husband be a husband like what I see in the drama. I wish like I have my kids always follow my instructions and they always act like an adult. So, and then cancer changed everything. When I went through cancer, that's when I learned gratitude can end suffering. For someone that is so hard to be grateful in the past because I've been so harsh to myself, been so mean to myself. I have to be the good daughter, I have to be the better sister, I have to be a better friend. But the more I put this pressure on myself, it's not only stop me from nourishing, it's become more burden on myself, more draining the more I walking backward on myself. And that's when I realized when I go through cancer, the thought of you almost lose everything. And then you still have the second chance. It is an amazing feeling. It's just a feeling of you thought you're going to lose that money or, the feeling of, let's just say you lose something. Let's just say you lost your wallet in a shop. You probably thought that you're going to lose it. And then when you go back, it's still there. You're so happy and so grateful about it. Well, that's happened to me. The thought when they told me cancer and stuff like that, I thought it was a death sentence because so many people, like I just lost my dad to cancer, my high school teacher to cancer, my close friends to cancer. So and watch so many dramas, Korean dramas. Always the girls or someone die from cancer. So my limiting belief, my story in my head is that I am going to die. But as I go through cancer, it's this grateful attitude that keep me going, that give me all the joy. It's not that my situation has changed. If anything, my situation has worse before, but because I changed my mindset, and this is why I love the quote, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Every time I go on treadmill, I used to be so struggling to go on a treadmill because I think like, I'd rather use that time to do something more fun. But when I went through cancer, and especially during chemo, and when I go on the treadmill, seeing myself still having the energy to go on treadmill, like when it could be some people going through chemo, they could be bedridden in bed, they couldn't move, they couldn't eat. I am so grateful. Like, oh my God, my leg is still working fine. Like I still have the energy to exercise for 1 hour every day. Oh my God, my heart is still beating really well, even though they told me the chemo might impact my heart. And, like, even though they told me, like, my fingers, my nerve might not able to button the shirt. But every time I can do something, it's so grateful. Like, they told me all these side effects. But when I have these simple things that I never appreciate in the past, the simple thing just to go on the sunlight. I'm always find something to do. I'm always busy. But during the time of with cancer, going to chemo, just going out under the sunlight, like close my eye, be in the present, let the sun touching my skin, feeling in this stillness or this pause of silence. It's the peace I never feel before. It's a different peace. It's a different from pleasure. It's a different when you go to holiday. A different when you receive recognitions or something from others. It's the power that you feel you never thought that you have before. This is why I said the wisdom that I missed because I was so attached to many things. And then when I'm going through cancer, I let go of a lot of things. When you start to detach, you actually get to see so many things that you never see before. I used to always rush to go pick up the kids. But when I take my time and walk meditation, just reflection and seeing everything around me, there's so much wisdom that I gain from looking and observing just by everything around me, especially the nature. Gratitude is very powerful, and this is why I highly encourage people to have a gratitude journal. I don't even have a journal anymore. I just write on my phone. But research say if you do on the journal, you actually feel it more by reading, by writing it down by yourself. So for me, I just putting on my notepad and just go back and read that notepad. It's just like this charging, like your phone charging every day. It's just this, the feeling of fullness in your heart, like you just feel full. That's amazing. I couldn't believe that I never do this before. And this is why I'm so grateful for cancer because, and this is why going through cancer, it teach me a big lesson. I look at pain different now. I believe in there is, when you decided to face pain or suffering or challenges in life, there is a blessing in the sky. They are coming to you to teach you about yourself, to teach you how to free yourself from all those attachments, from all those negative self-talk. They're coming to teach you how to love yourself more. For me, reflecting, I'm so grateful. Like, I used to never grateful of my body. Like, I'm grateful for my hands, grateful for my legs, my whole body, that they've been working so hard for me. I've been so harsh on myself before. I used to be someone wake up, having cake, eating salami, hot dog. It just focus on just the taste, but not taking care of this body, seeing us. Without this body, I wouldn't have this awareness. The body is so important. That is a foundation for me to gain all the wisdom, all the beautiful things in life. Without this body, I won't be able to learn and discover about myself or love myself. So I'm so grateful. Like, cancer have taught me to be so grateful of my body. So, and since then on, I learned to treat my body so nicely. When every time I go on exercise and came out, even that's after chemo, I say thank you to my body. You've been working so well. You've been amazing. Even though you go through chemo, you're still supporting me to go on the treadmill. You're still supporting me to look after my kids, to still have time to study. I'm so grateful for you. I truly grateful for this body, and this is without me have to go buy something, go and like people say something to me, it's make my heart full just by me being focusing on gratitude. And this is why I really believe wherever you place your attention on, it's going to keep expand. Whether you place the attention on resisting something or pushing something away or on the negative thing, it will keep expanding. But when you focus on gratitude, your heart is full. You have more clarity. You can shift your emotions. It's so powerful with gratitude, and I highly recommend you to start to practice. My daughter, she used to wake up and cry, like when she started kindy, going to school. She was struggling with new adjustment, waking up and go to school and that. But since I do the gratitude with my kids every night, so we do a memory game, so they will tell me from morning till nighttime what did they do, just my way of training their brain to have a good memory and what they do every day. And they will just pick out 3 things from what they do each day on gratitude. I noticed since I start doing the gratitude with them every day, every morning she don't wake up and cry anymore. She's always in a good mood. So it is very powerful, and we have to be grateful for our body working so hard for us. So we have to be taking care of it really well, like whether you eat, whether you talk to yourself, whether you respect yourself, you value yourself or cherish yourself, you have to show the respect, the gratitude back to the body. And I feel like we work really well like that. When I start showing gratitude to my body, to my health, it seems to be working, take care of each other or love each other really well like that way. When every time, I sleep late because of some exam or some projects that I need to finish, and I'm always grateful for my body. Even though I sleep late, we still function really well. I'm really proud, I'm really grateful. It's just the language I'm talking to my body every day. So also, going through cancer, it's if you were to ask me if I choose to go through cancer again, I would, because I don't know if I don't go through cancer, if my mindset able to shift like this. I might be still in the zone, busy and keep going, and one day might be dying without seeing the joys of the present moment, the awakening, that everything that I'm seeking for is already within me, it's already in the here and now. All I need to do is just be pause and stay in this quiet and silent, just to sense it, to see it. I spend so much time on seeking, and the more I seek, the more it's far from it, because you don't need to seek. It's already within you. It's not on the external. It's not on anywhere. It's already in the here and now, in the present moment. What I realize is that I has been stuck in my thought, in my fantasy, in my perceptions, in my emotions, but not really in the present. And when I managed to learn from the meditation, just be the observer instead of get involved with the spiral of the thought and emotions. Oh my God, there's so much wisdom, so much power that I can access and can reclaim to. And this is why when I do the speech, when I do my video, it's not because I didn't get nervous for the first time. But when I manage to close my eye, a pause and reflection, and ground myself back to the present moment, and just trust the process, just trust the universe that has a better plan and, bigger and better plan for me, it calms me down, and just learn from it, because that's what life is about. It's not about get attached to a certain way. It's about the unknown. It's about welcome it. Welcome the unwelcome. That's what I think. All the blessing is in the unwelcome. That's when I realized there's no good or there's no bad. It's everything just neutral. The good or bad is coming from our perception. The resistance. When we resist to something, it's become bad. And when we welcome something, it's become good. But that is just, everything is just that nature. And that's why I can still look at the positive side of thinking about death and stuff like that. It's become my inspirations on life. I know that everything that I look for around me every day, it's just impermanent. It's everything gonna change. So why do I force it? Why just have fun with this? Because soon and later, this is going to change and move on to a new thing. Just like you go to the escape room, you get into this escape. Let's have fun with this, because your time is gonna up and you're gonna move to another room, and it's just that's how I see life now. before, in a way, I just want to touch to this way, but how boring would that be? You just keep playing the same game over and over again. It's not worth it for our lifetime. So and all of this, when I'm able to learn how to focus on gratitude, been so grateful of my family. If I didn't go through cancer, I didn't know how much is everyone really caring, how much everyone really supporting. They really trying their best to take care of me. I know everyone's having a busy life, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff, even some stuff it's not within their value, but they're willing to do and sacrifice so that they can show up for me as a good brothers, as a good husband, as a good kids. And I'm so grateful for people showing up for me, like my parents. I know my dad passed away. My mom, she has been so helpful. And yeah, so I really cherish the relationship with my family. I try to love them in a way without attachment. The love that I see them between a human being to another human being, but not as a mother, not as a brother. Because I used to have some tension between the family relationship, because I still carry some guilt that I haven't been the best daughter for them or the best good sister for them, and all those guilt is become the attachment where I don't connect to them more openly and freely. But when I learn to let go of all this guilt, happy the way I am, just the way I am, and I love them just the way they are, not just because she is my mother, it's not just they are my brothers, but they are part of me, that interconnected, that we all human being and just who they are. When you love someone just fully who they are, without the status, without the guilt, it's actually, you feel more whole. The way you love them is more freely. How do you explain it? It's like the love where, like sometimes you mingle with your workmate and then your boss come in and people tend to tense and they can't speak anything freely because of that status. And that's when I noticed with myself, like, because I put them the status of, she's my mom, I need to always taking care of her, this and that. I seems to not letting our relationship flow organically. And when I start to see her just an individual, capable person, talk to her as believing her that she can do this by herself, she can do this, I will take care of her when I can. If I can't, I don't have to feel that she think of me if I'm a bad daughter or not. That relationship becomes so easy and ease, like it's a love that is more ease without attachment. That's what I realized. Before, even with my sibling, I feel like, I have to show up as a good example, this and that. So I always seems to tense and not fully authentic of who I am. But then when I realized about this, good girl syndrome and a good sister syndrome, and I let go of that and see them as a human being that come into this world together, and we try to, free ourselves from suffering together and, helping each other in this path instead of just the brother and mother relationship. I feel like I managed to love them and hug them more freely without more tensions. For me, I think it's a love without attachment. I don't attach just because she's my mother. I see them as another human being that I can say what is my love language to them without removing that level of status. So, and I think it's really beautiful for me, and so grateful of my family, my friends showing up. Like some friends, they take their time off, come home, cook for me, take care of me, chit chat with me during the time. If I don't go through cancer, I don't get to see my friends show up like this. They get to take me to, my niece and nephew, taking me to chemotherapy, even though they have their work, their uni. So grateful that they drop off their time and and, spending time with me and connect. So grateful with work. Day has been amazing. Convo Bank has been so amazing since day one when they find out. I'm always grateful since I start working for Convo Bank. Their culture is amazing. Maybe I'm biased because I haven't been working everywhere, but there's a few places I've been working in the past. And so far, Convo Bank is the best culture. Everyone is always want to help each other to grow. And especially since the time when they find out that I was sick, they give me extra leave. Even since my dad was sick, they give me extra leave. They give me all this support and finding out for me. I don't have to do much regarding to my income protections, and they're constantly checking on me, inviting me for all the bondings. They really, really genuinely, I really feel their cares, their support, which give me a lot of empowerment to face all the challenges in life, and this is why if I don't have to go through all those challenges in life, I don't get to see people get to show up. Our humanity, we're really beautiful and kind. And some friends, as soon as I told them about my sickness, they were just right at my front door, drop off everything, come to see me and chit chat. So, and this is what I really cherish in life, is the beautiful moment. I spend so much time just focus on work, and now that I go through this, I just want to be there for people that are going through challenges as well. I know it's not easy, but when you manage to shift it from suffering to gratitude, if we keep looking for gratitude, we always learn something. Even those people say something mean to you, I still can look at it as a gratitude way that I learned something. They came as a teacher. They teach me something about myself, that, hey, I'm actually keeping my power within me. I don't let them steal away my peace. I remember when I go through chemo for the first time, they might be busy or something, and my husband were with me. He want to stay with me during the chemo time, and some nurses, they might be too tired. They might be confusing with some data. So they kind of release the anger on us, so you shouldn't be here. Why you turn up? I think the first sessions that I turned up to chemo, this nurse, she must confuse me with a different Asian girl or something, I'm not sure. So the first time I come to chemo, and I told her that, this is my first time chemo, I'm not sure what it is. And she's like, no, I seen you before. You were here last week. Why did you lie? She was, I don't know if she's tired or something, but she was accusing me that I was lying. And then I was just calm. And then I said, look, this is the date. This is the letter from doctors. She must recognize my face, and she thought must be familiar with someone. And without even checking the paper, she was saying, you've been here before. Why are you acting like the first time, going to the chair or whatever it is? So long story short, I told her, explain, get to see in the system that it's my first time. I never turned up to that chemo room before, and I was just talking to her is it a busy day? You look tired. It's okay. Seems to cheer her up, and we have a good relationship later on. I think we all have that moment, the moment that it's not fully 100% sometime, and this is why we shouldn't be judging people based on that one moment. Because for me, if I look at my past, I did so many mistakes, so many things that I did to my kids, but I'm grateful that now I have the opportunity to rewrite those stories back. I don't just think my life is over just by that 5 or 10 minutes of my time, of my life have gone. I still have another 40 minutes or 50 minutes of my life to rewrite the rest. So it's like without going through cancer, I wouldn't be able to gain all this awareness and these beautiful things in life. And I'm so grateful. That's why I just want to do this episode on gratitude. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Wisdom Inside Out. Stay tuned. Please follow me on this social media platform.